Good afternoon, Sooner softball fans. Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Don't forget to click the subscribe button down there and subscribe to our channel, as you'll be notified again of the upcoming videos and daily content. Turn on your notifications. We appreciate all of the followers we have so far. This is a new series we're starting. We just finished the Fantastic Four series on the 4 incoming freshmen for next year. We're going to call this the Forgotten Four, not because we've forgotten about them. It's just because with all of the transfer portal action and talk of the incoming freshmen, these are 4 Sooner athletes on the softball team that did not get a lot of run last year, a lot of playing time, that we're going to kind of cover each one of them. We're going to start today with SJ Geurin, the left-handed pitcher out of Leander, Texas. First, some things that maybe people don't know about her is both of her parents, and look, I live in the Sapulpa, Oklahoma area, but both her parents were actually on the TU athletics spectrum there. Her father, Robert, played football, and her mom was on the softball team. So obviously comes from a very athletic family. I think her grandpa also played in the Big 12 at Texas Tech. But so she definitely has that genetic athletic ability, makeup, I guess, if you will. So, and also in the backyard here in Tulsa. So that's an interesting. She's a lefty. She actually went 10-0 in her travel ball before she had come to Norman. Last year was redshirted, did not play. And it'll be interesting, guys, to see how much run this lefty SJ Geurin gets next year. What are you guys thinking?
I think it's interesting with SJ Geurin. An article I was reading, her mom said she never even expected her to be a pitcher, which is kind of crazy considering she was a pretty much consensus top 25 recruit in the country. Depending on what site you look at, both of them had her in the top 10 for pitchers in the class of 2022. But with now all the portal action that OU has had, there's now about 6 pitchers that has the opportunities for SJ is obviously, again, kind of slim like it was last year. She obviously redshirted. But I would expect her to get some run either in kind of we've mentioned it before on a few other videos, like how the possibility of maybe Patty Gasso kind of changing the game of softball, where instead of your starter going pretty much the full game, you kind of split it up more how baseball does with relievers. But I would think it'd be really hard to keep her off the dirt again this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Hunter.
Well,
it's just they are so deep. That's the only issue I see with it is, I mean, she's still the youngest pitcher, her and Deal. So I don't know. She's 5'11", tall. I mean, really tall pitcher, I believe. You know, her size. Did you talk about? I cut out for a minute. Did you talk about how many lefties that is on the staff now?
that's 2.
No, it's more than 2. Deal,
Geurin,
Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
So you're talking 3. I think Keeney's right. So you got 3 pitchers there that are left-handed. I do think she's going to get some playing time just because I mean, they have so many pitchers, but the next year they're going to lose some. So she's going to have to get some playing time to get some experience under her belt.
Yeah. And her, I don't know if you follow her on Twitter, but her, I guess you could say her faith is very, she's definitely bold about her faith. Fits exactly with kind of the culture there in Norman. So obviously she loves being there. I know people have talked about, man, I wonder if she's going to stick around, you know, with this many pitchers. I do think she is going to stick around. And I think there's a possibility they could redshirt one of these other girls this next year because, like you said, they're going to lose Maxwell. They're going to lose May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Maxwell and May are gone. And who else? Is there one more they're losing?
Keeney.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know they got a stud player coming in as well the year after that. But
here's another
thoughts, Braden, on SJ Geurin?
Another thing about SJ is you look at her high school, her win percentage, really high. I mean, same with travel ball. She just anybody that's that highly recruited and their stats are, I think our travel ball stats were 10-0 or something. And high school was the same. If you're that highly recruited as a pitcher and you don't have many losses on your record, pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, Braden, you're saying something.
The only time I saw SJ was the battle series they do.
And
That's about. I mean, she was pretty good. She's pretty good.
The battle series is going to be intense.
For sure.
Is that confirmed back for this coming year?
It's back because Patty talked about it postseason about how much that helped them for the competitiveness of those people, for them to play against each other and stuff. So I guarantee you it's back. It was a big deal last year.
Yeah, SJ, her junior year, that's the only stats I can find as of right now. She was 23-1 with a .093 ERA. Helped the team to the #1 ranking in the country. I mean, what more can you expect for OU to land a pitcher like this? And it's crazy that we're having this conversation after her redshirt freshman year, that like, where is she going to kind of fit into this team because of just how loaded Patty Gasso has made this pitching staff.
Yeah, and I'll give you a comparison for those people watching this that are football fans, but it's comparable, okay, because she came in as a recruit. I think she was anywhere from 10 to 20 on the spectrum, but you got to remember the #1 pitcher in America was Kirsten Deal. Okay, yeah. So Deal came to OU. It'd be comparable to, like, I mean, 2 running backs going to OU. Maybe let's just go Barnes and Sawchuk. I mean, 2 highly recruited guys, but or you could even say this year you got Taylor Tatum and maybe Durham. Who knows? But you got 2 at the same position that are really good. A lot of people talk about that #1 player, and so that's why a lot of people have talked about Deal. And Geurin's kind of got a little bit, I think, kind of put on the back burner. But like Hunter said, with the stats like that, you're a stud if you're throwing out stats like that.
Well, and the other thing with this sport, and look, you can compare this to other sports, but there's one thing that is very noticeably different. Athletes in softball, they're not leaving 2 years to go pro. I mean, Hanson's been there all of 5, right? She's going to be there 5. The super seniors, they're using their super. This is not a sport where you're jumping ship to go play professionally. So they're going to be there for years. And they look at the long-term, I think, impact, and especially, the culture and all that. And the NIL deal now in softball, it's gaining traction. I mean, these ladies are going to get paid. So there is that. So I don't think it's as clear as in other sports where people are just transferring out. Now, we have seen some of the portal action has been very active, but a lot of those that come to OU also are coming there, even Maxwell, just to be happy again, be content, and love the game again. So it's a little different in this sport than other sports, I think.
Yeah, that's very well put. That softball, obviously, now we are starting to get professional softball. I know Oklahoma City has the Spark, and they are pretty popular in the Oklahoma area. I mean, look at who they have. They have the greatest softball player of all time. They got Alex Storako and a few other former Sooners. So it's a lot different, and that's something that you kind of have to consider with these athletes. Like, if they're not getting the playing time, because really their careers, like, this is the end of it. There's the professional really hasn't picked up, and I hope it does. I think this league that Lauren Chamberlain is the commissioner of, I believe, is really one that's going to pick up ground, and we're going to start hearing more and more of these softball superstars playing for a few more years at least in the professionals. So it's something you have to consider where on the portal stuff, because they only have so much time left. You only get 4 years of eligibility now, and that's, for some people, that's all the softball you can play for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what's crazy is SJ Geurin, put her on another team and she might be the ace. Okay, that's crazy. That they have that much depth on this team and the pitching staff. And I'm serious. Some people may laugh, but she's that good of a pitcher in high school and travel ball that she would be the ace on some college teams, guys.
For sure. Yeah. And so the first one is SJ Geurin. I want you guys to drop comments, answer this question, because I'm going to give you a hint right now on who we're going to do a video on tomorrow. If you can think of an Atlanta Brave number 33 lefty, a great pitcher, that'll give you a hint of who tomorrow's video is going to be about. So drop your answers there in the comments and see if you can guess who the next of the Forgotten Four will be that we'll cover tomorrow. Till next time, guys. Boomer.